Yo, what's good, y'all? You dub back here again, here in 2019. Bringing y'all more fresh new content. Now, this video will be the first of many, many videos as to put some proper respect on some undervalued, underutilized characters, and whether it be DC, Marvel, you name it, where characters who should be having comic series or maybe in some cases anime manga series don't. It is really a damn shame. It's really a damn shame. We starting off this with a character that some of y'all might not even really know. Hank Pym. Dr. Hank Pym. Hank Pym is one of the most important characters in Marvel, and I don't say it loosely. I'm not even a fan of Hank Pym. All right? He's not one of my favorite characters, partially because Marvel doesn't know what the hell to do with it. For a little backstory, Hank Pym was Ant-Man, he was Goliath. He's one of the founding Avengers, okay? He was the reason that Ultron was even created. Marvel, they have this whole thing in the MCU, right? Instead of having him be Ant-Man, which is the original reason as to why I didn't even watch the Ant-Man movie, they have him as the old scientist dude. No respect. Him and Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, should have been two of the Avengers for sure. You have Falcon up in that piece, and you don't. You had Quicksilver in there, and you did not have Ant-Man and Wasp. But that's a whole other topic of discussion. The point is that Marvel doesn't know what the hell it's doing. The last I checked, and I had bought it, was leading up to Infinity, not Infinity War, Infinity Count. It was Infinity Countdown leading up to that whole event where apparently Gamora got the Infinity Gauntlet or whatever the case may be. I was reading initially a lot of the Infinity Countdown, and the last that I know of is they have Hank Pym merged with Ultron, which doesn't sound like a bad idea, but the way they're handling it is like, what the hell are y'all doing? He was the one who had the Soul Gem, and he was able to battle off Adam Warlock, which is no small feat. But the point is, Marvel don't know what the hell is doing with him. So, what does Wonder do? You dubs like, you know what? If Marvel were to contact me and to have me have my own like separate label in Marvel, especially if it's mature content, right? I would have certain characters. DC gonna get the same thing, gonna get the same treatment, to where put some proper respect on these characters' names. Now I ain't gonna go into a whole long, series with these, but I'm gonna do 5 arcs, about 4 issues each arc or so, whatever, and get y'all whistles wet. Starting off with the first arc in my Hank Pym series, it is the Galactus arc. Yeah, we starting off big time, ladies and gentlemen, with Hank. So what happens is that Hank dies. Okay, issue 1, Hank dies. Iron Man Tony Stark seemingly kills Hank. We flash forward 10 years, a decade, to where Hank is somehow revived. Okay, Hank's body was in a cryogenic state. Hank wakes up, and the guy's like, "Oh, so you finally awoken?" I don't know. Hank looks around. Where am I? Oh, that's not of importance. Who are you? Someone who helped you. Yeah, okay. Um, so why are you doing this? Oh, you should be grateful to the man who revived you. Da da da, and there's more dialogue. We find out Hank says, "You didn't revive me. I was never dead." Issue 2 goes into the whole thing about the Pym particles and Hank's body uh, becoming in constant quantum flux to the point that Hank is now virtually immortal. Okay, it's damn near impossible to kill him. Even if you were to say, quote unquote, reality warp to obliterate his existence, it's not a guarantee that you would actually kill him. Okay, so there's that. He breaks free. He immobilizes the guy by breaking his spine. So he gets out and he explores, the city and whatnot. and he finds out about the world and da 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 more about it and how things are. Issue 3, Silver Surfer shows up, knowing Rad, and you know Hank sensed him because Hank now has way upgraded intelligence to level his IQ's 500. He has a more of a sense and touch with reality because of his new quantum enhancements. And, he has a conversation with the surfer and is like, what are you doing here? Normally, Galactus is not far behind. And Surfer's like, that's right, Galactus needs to feed him. But Pym is like, yo, this is not a dead world. Isn't there any other place you can go? Surfer's like, it's not always that simple. And Hank's like, I can't let you destroy this thriving culture. Yeah, it's got its problems, but let these people live. And Silver Surfer ain't having that. He's like, listen, Surfer, I don't want to fight you. And Surfer's like, hold up, wait a minute. I know you. You think you can fight me? He tries to hit him with a blast of cosmic energy. Ain't having it. Nothing is phasing Hank, and Surfer's thrown off. And Hank's like, I'm not how I used to be. Let's just say things have changed. And as he says change, Hank is able to manipulate the quantum field around Surfer and knock Surfer out. With Surfer being gone, Galactus shows up because he sensed something was wrong. He shows up. So issue 4, Hank has a good old conversation with Galactus. It's like, isn't there anything else you can do? Galactus is like, this is none of your business, Hank Pym. And Hank Pym's like, yeah, it is. These people have treated me well. These people deserve to live. And if you don't back off, I'll force you to back off. And Galactus tells him not to be haughty. Hank Pym does some quantum manipulation to where he becomes the size of Galactus. Galactus is very intrigued. Hank Pym's like, listen, there are powers in this universe beyond both of us. Do you really want to do battle with someone who can make life very difficult for you? I know how you are when you are starving. I can find you a place for you to feed. Let my hero go. Hank wakes Surfer up and is like, listen, I'll work with you two together, and if you do that, get me to Earth. That's what occurs. Moving on to arc 2, the Genius arc. So Hank arrives on Earth thanks to the assistance of the Surfer and Galactus. Because although Hank has his powers, he hasn't fully, got to the point where he can, tap into total utilization on that kind of level. So it is what it is. Um, they were able to find a dead world by the end of issue 4. Issue 5, he meets up with Tony Stark, and Tony's like, "Huh, took you long enough. So what actually happened?" And Hank's like, "The plan seemed to work, but you know how quantum reality works. It's all in flux. What seemed like it could have happened within a couple of seconds, a year. It took 10 years. But I came back in an improved state. I'm now more one with the quantum realm itself." Tony Stark finds that very intriguing. "Well, it's good to know, but these days I'm more or less retired." Hank laughs it off. Iron Man is never retired. Tony's like, "So what brings you here?" "We need to contact Reed Richards and Dr. Bruce Banner." Tony's intrigued. He's like, "Why Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, and Ant-Man together? What do you have proposed?" And more or less end the issue off with Hangman saying, "I believe we are the four most intelligent people on the planet." Tony's like, T'Challa's is not going to be too pleased to hear that. Hank laughs. He's like, it's no offense to King of Wakanda, but we each specialize in areas far exceeding anyone else. And Tony's like, okay, but what do I tell him? And then Hank's like, well, we got to save the multiverse. So where we're at, issue 6, Reed Richards and Bruce Banner get over there, and they're glad to see Hank still alive, and they're like, Tony. Reed goes, Tony has told us some interesting information. Would you care to elaborate? Bruce is like, yeah, you better not be trying to pull anything. Hank's like, no, no, no. I've been upgraded because of dealings in the with quantum reality. And I have a sense of things. For example, I was able to subdue the Silver Surfer and manipulate my presence to be the size of Galactus. That definitely intrigues Reed Richards. Go on. Well, I also have somewhat of a sense of the cosmic goings on, and the multiverse is going to potentially collapse. We need to stop that. I need you gentlemen to help me prevent that from occurring, either by natural disaster or potential war that may break out to cause that to happen. Tony's like, I'm down, but I told you I don't really fight. Well, here's the thing, Tony, you're the greatest mind when it comes to engineering alive. We're going to need your strength to be able to fight it off. Besides, you can create a suit that even surpasses the God Killer. Tony's like, well, thanks for giving me that level of credit. As far as in me, I have unparalleled knowledge of the quantum. As far as in you, Mr. Fantastic, you have not tapped into your full potential with cosmic awareness, nor your full intellect. No one else understands the reality of this universe better than you do, other than some of the cosmic entities. Reed's like, okay, you have me intrigued. And as far as in you, Hulk, you've always put restrictors on yourself mentally, whether you realize it or not. I can help lift those restrictors because we're going to need your strength. Bruce is like, I'm not sure about that. Hank's like, listen, if we don't, none of this is going to matter. And unlike times before, there will be no new universe. Everything will be gone. Oblivion. They all look seriously. Issue 7, they're all trying to figure out what the hell does Hank mean. And Hank breaks down what's going on and the different tears and realities. And, you know, Bruce brings up, well, what about Dr. Stephen Strange, Brother Voodoo, and the various mages? And Hank says, well, they're part of the problem. Every time magical energies have been used to help fix and recreate the universe, including, the negligence of the living tribunal, it has caused an imbalance in the multiverse. And the thing is, the universe has been recreated so many times that it is completely unstable and it's like a glass ready to be shattered. And it's not going to be able to be birthed again. It needs to be prevented from completely shattering. And we can go from there. And Tony's like, well, what do we need to do? We need to prepare and we need to get ready. Okay. There is a mission I would like us to go on. It'll be dangerous, but it'll be well worth it to make sure that what I'm saying is true. He's like, well, I'm down. Bruce is like, I have nothing better to do. Tony's like, this is intriguing. Let's do it. So they travel out in an advanced ship and they go to a place far, far off in the middle of nowhere. No star systems or some are nearby. and they analyze the quantum fluctuations and realize that it in fact is a hole in space-time, and about four other universes are about to merge into that singular spot. Coming in at issue number 8, they go to the spot. They contact Dr. Stephen Strange, and Strange is surprised that they're all working together. They fill him in on what's going on. Strange is like, "What do you need me to do?" And they come back, or they contact him, come back to his place, and Hank Pym is like, "I need you to send us to round round A lock." Strange is like, "I can't do that." "No, I know you can. You don't want to. And if you can't do it for all of us, do it for me. I'll be able to survive it because of my quantum fluctuation. Do a scan on me, Steven, and see if I'm telling the truth." He does, and he realizes that he can survive it. Remember what I told y'all and prepare. Be prepared for when the time comes. Steven, you're going to need to be prepared for war as well, considering you're part of the reason why the multiverse is collapsing. Being the Sorcerer Supreme is such a burden. And so Stephen Strange sends him into the quantum situation, which leads into the next arc. The third arc is the Quantum Gods arc. So Hank Pym is in the quantum reality, okay, the true quantum reality, quantum realm, where he maintains his body, but his body being what it is a constant state of flux. Um, he keeps his appearance to a degree, but a little bit different. Anyways, he's moving around and he finds a central spot. Here is ruled by the gods. There are three entities, beings of immense power, who make sure on this home world they judge, but throughout the quantum connectivity, they make sure everything's in balance and everything's at play. But the problem is they're pretty oppressive with it and pretty isolationist. Hank Hank Pym goes and he tries to have a conversation with them. They're not hearing it. They don't want to hear about a tear in the reality. They're like, listen, it'll not affect us. Hank Pym's like, yes, it will. It'll affect all universe. And they're like, you don't understand, mere mortal, what the quantum reality is. We're outside of the universe. We're fine. Hank Pym says, I understand what you mean, although I don't know exactly if it's true if you'll survive, but you have to be concerned. No, we don't. We've survived every universal collapse. We'll survive this one. There are three realms that exist outside. There's the beyond realm, there is the void or oblivion, and there's the quantum reality. The quantum realm will be fine, but you can't return. Why not? I'm originally from. But you've ascended. You've transcended mere mortal form. We can't allow you to leave. And he's like, yeah, tough luck. He tries to escape, but he's stopped. This place is super powerful, and it's a whole different animal than anything he's used to. He's imprisoned. Coming in at issue number 10, Hank is thinking and he's trying to figure things out. But this is Hank Pym we're talking about. And with his newfound powers, he begins to experiment and build and create. And he creates an inspiration of Iron Man, a suit of armor, out of pure quantum energy. He breaks out. Now, the quantum gods, they've never seen anyone do anything like this. And they fear him. They want him hunted down. He escapes off world and explores quantum realm. And he finds out what is true that they say. that the quantum realm is a wholly separate matter, and you can't enter it via normal means. Dr. Stephen Strange, being the Sorcerer Supreme, he has more than normal means. So, anyways, but anywhere he goes, he's being tracked, and he recognizes that each quantum fluctuation still carries a signature. Okay, and so Hank Pym, he settles on a far off world to give him time to think and to figure things out. He realized he's probably gonna have to go to war against these gods, take them down, and to utilize the quantum realm's abilities to save the multiverse. Issue 11, time to go to war. So Hank Pym has been in the quantum realm for seemingly a couple years. Okay. In reality, it who knows how long it's been on the outside. But he's been gaining allies. He's been as a fugitive, and he's finding out that the ironclad fist that the quantum gods have ruled with is not exactly acceptable to many people, and they have gathered a number of enemies. So Hank Pym, he rallies the forces. Now they don't understand how they will be able to stand up to these very, very potent entities, but Hank teaches them to tap into their own controls of the quantum reality. And what he finds out is that some of them are mutants in their own regard. Uh, you know, apparently the quantum gods did not account for anomalies. So he gets a squad of about 20 of them. He leads them to go to battle. And this goes into issue 12, which you have a full scale event. The quantum gods, two of them end up getting killed in the encounter. The last one is captured. And he, um, you know, he refuses to aid, but at this point, eternity shows up. Yeah, we're talking about the cosmic battle, uh, entity of eternity, and Hank Pym's like, you know, is if the universe is not, connected to this realm, then what are you doing here? Eternity's like, Hank Pym, very resourceful, very much a threat. Your existence alone may threaten the balance of the universe. Hank Pym's like, listen, you all know what's at stake for the multiverse, and there's no coming back from it. The living tribunal is a lazy ball. You're not going to step in. None of you are going to step in, so I have to do it for you. And Eternity's like, are you dare challenging the balance of things? There is no balance. You all need to go. Declaring a war, a potential war on the cosmic entities. Let's go. Going into the fourth arc, you got the Hell arc. So the Quantum God, he wants Hank out of there. And Hank's like, listen, you free these people and you assure that I don't come back here and you keep this nonsense. He promises a word. I'll get out of your hair. Send me to hell. All right. Opens up a portal, sends him to hell. Now, while in there, Hank Pym, who is he looking for? Mephisto. Now, in case you don't know, that's the dude who does the dealings and who gave Ghost Rider his power. Okay? Mephisto. Hank Pym's on a mission. He's looking to kill Mephisto. And wondering why. Going into issue 14, Mephisto and him have a good old conversation. And Mephisto is wondering why a man like Hank Pym is in his realm. Hank Pym says, you need to die. Mephisto laughs it off. He's like, even if you are capable, what do you achieve? Hank Pym smirks. You're not the one I'm really after. Chokes out Mephisto with use of the quantum realm. And then Hank Pym enlarges his size, snaps his neck. Mephisto is done. Now, for those who don't understand what kind of feat this is, that means that Hank Pym's power level has shot through dramatically. This action alone sends shockwaves to the point to where all the other realms start to realize Hank Pym goes on the warpath. Next up, he goes after Dormammu in the dark dimension. That's why I call it the Hell Arc, because it's a you know play on words. So he goes to the dark dimension. Dormammu should be stepping back, but Dormammu's not having that, especially after getting exposed by in previous time by Galactus. Check out Doctor Strange. Check out the Doctor Strange storyline with that, where Galactus just was wilding out and just whooped everybody's ass. So he goes after Dormammu. Dormammu and him have a phenomenal battle. But Hank Pym, using his intellect, sets up a bunch of plays to where Dormammu kills himself. Kills himself because Hank Pym sets up a quantum barrier, and Dormammu utilizes magic that reflects back onto him and kills himself. Moving on to what are we at? Issue 16. Two very powerful people are dead. Stephen Strange contacts him, like, Hank, what the hell are you doing? Hank's like, I had to draw some big fish, okay? And to let him know it's serious. We're at war. The cosmic entity, the living tribunal shows up and is like, Hank Pym, what are you doing? You cannot be doing these kind of things. Hank Pym's like, listen, all you care about is the balance. You don't care about who's affected. And as far as I know, you just care about the the natural order of things. You nearly let Thanos take over. You nearly let a number of people take over. As long as there's one, what do you care about them? You nearly let Galactus wild out before. He would use it in a different terms, but Living Tribunal says, and your point is, what if I killed you? The Living Tribunal goes, what? Out of my way, you imposter. Stabs right, disappears, stabs through his back. Living Tribunal's dead. Now, a lot of people will be like, how on earth is a living tribunal dead? It was an invite. It wasn't a true living tribunal. Come on now. You think I'm right to hate people to be that powerful? Anyway, so we go into issue number where we at? 17. So a fake living tribunal's dead. Okay. In fact, it was a demon masquerading. We're going into the void arc. Demon masquerading. He was the one that set forth the motion of the destruction of the multiverse. Okay. Set forth the opening of the scar. And he was utilizing mystical energies. Hank Pym knew he had to draw him out and knew that the other cosmic entities wouldn't care enough to deal with this issue, so he had to deal with it personally. Hank Pym goes back and he's like, guys, it's time. He unlocks the Hulk's full unlimited strength. Yeah, at 100. We talk about unlimited strength Hulk. Reed Richards, he unlocks with this because of his training and his usage. He unlocks Mr. Fantastic's, you know, cosmic level abilities. So he amped. Tony Stark has had time to develop a armor, bro. An armor of armors. Seemingly a regular suit. Tony is this next level. It's above anything he's ever seen. So it's like, we ready. And then Stephen Strange shows up and is like, well, my guess is I'm probably gonna have to deal with this as a Sorcerer Supreme. And Hank's like, yeah, let Jericho Drum know, Brother Voodoo, that to be on the lookout and to help protect. Also talk to Reed Richards. He says, listen, I know you and Victor Von Doom may have not always had the greatest relationship, but you need to contact him and let him know to make sure he helps protect the planet. Talk to T'Challa Make sure that he knows to help protect the planet. Contact Namor the Submariner. Contact anybody of relevance. Contact Charles Xavier. Contact everyone to let them know. Whoever's the influential people to let them know that the Earth and the multiverse may need protection in case we fail. Stephen Strange is like, if we fail, they're not going to be able to do anything. We're way more powerful than any of them are at this point. Thor is off world, and you know he's got his own thing to take care of. Hank Pym's like, I figured that's part of the reason I didn't ask for him. Besides, we don't need just pure power on this one. We need our intellects. So, Dr. Stephen Strange summons, and he's like, where are we going? To the void. So they go into the realm of oblivion. Issue number, what we at? We at 18? The issue number 18. Anyway, they're into oblivion. They're investigating things, da da da. And then they run into the king, the ruler of oblivion. And the ruler asks them what they're doing in his realm. Hank Pym speaks up. There's a problem with the multiverse. And the ruler's like, well, that's good for me. All things to oblivion. Hank Pym's like, listen, we can unleash holy hell on you. And the ruler of oblivion is not worried about his own power. Hank's like, I'm not just talking about our power. If the multiverse collapses, do you understand the kind of monsters that will be unleashed upon your realm? The ruler of oblivion considers it and is like, okay, so what do you propose? You help us. The cosmic entities need to go. The ruler of oblivion agrees. Issue number 19. War, baby. War with the ruler of oblivion, the cosmic entities, ruler of oblivion, the cosmic entities, they go at it, bro. They go at it. The cosmic entities sense a threat, so they go outside the multiverse, which allows Hank Pym and them to travel. They do battle with Null. We talk about the symbiote god, ladies and gentlemen. They do battle with Null. And Null, at first he attacks him. So that's part of the reason why Hank got them all amped, because he knew it was not going to be easy to convince him. But then he convinces Null. He's like, listen, listen, listen. We convinced the ruler of Oblivion to go to war with the cosmic entities. We're trying to take them out. And I was like, all right. And so they go to take out the cosmic. Noel joins the party. And they join and they take out the cosmic entities. And you're sitting here like, well, eternity and all of them, like, what happens if they're taken out? Because isn't, for example, eternity the embodiment of you know, all of life and stuff? The Phoenix Force replaces. There is a number of selections that replace this. And so in issue 20, all of this gets resolved. Then Hank Pym, um, you know, helps establish the new order of things. And Tony's like, this is insanity. Steven goes, where does things go from here? Um, Reed's like, has everything been fixed? Noel is wondering, so what do you want to do now? Well, Hank's like, things have been stabilized. All of the energies over the years with the cosmic entities, I realized it, were eroding at the very fabric of it. The problem is, we have now just sat on a collision course with those who are so immensely powerful. I don't know what's going to happen. They are going to take note. And Hank Pym turns, and they all turn. The one above all shows up. That's how the issue ends. Ladies and gentlemen, Unexpected Winner, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. And I have, like I said, I have more comic book series that I plan on doing videos on. These are my own creations. If Marvel ever see this, I would absolutely love. Okay, I would absolutely love to have these done. But let me know which characters you would like to do. I may or may not already have them planned to do. But yeah, DC, Marvel, anime, manga. Let me know what series and characters you want to see be done, and we'll hopefully get that for you. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.